As you can see here today, we're at London Gatwick Airport, where we're flying a drone just off of the runway. And if I'm being honest, I can't quite believe it. The results are going to be insane. Thanks for joining me in what is the first of a series of behind the scenes videos here at Miru. We're here today at Hangar 7, which is at Gatwick Airport, and we're lucky enough to be here shooting a range of imagery for this listing. That includes aerial imagery, video and photography for this particular property. This building is incredible. It's massive, it's absolutely vast, as you can see, and has been operated by Virgin over the last few years. However, it has now become available through Gerard Eve, who we're working with to essentially promote and showcase this building in its best light. Getting a chance to film in places like this is why we do it. You know, there's not many chances you get to use a drone just off of the runway at one of the UK's busiest airports. So we feel incredibly privileged to be able to film here for this type of listing. The trickiest thing when you're working in a space like this, where you've got a restricted height limit and also there's not much room to manoeuvre around the site, is actually finding the right frame. It gets what you want really from the image, but also tells the story, things like location, what's happening around it. As much as I would like us to have a bit more room to work around, in the same respect I also don't want us being on BBC News tonight as the company that brought Gatwick to a standstill and caused absolute havoc. I don't think that would be a very good look as a business. Here is obviously an extremely sensitive site. It's not just a case of rocking up with the drone and being able to fly it. There's an awful lot of conversations that have to take place, a lot of paperwork that has to be done, and ultimately it is up to air traffic control at Gatwick Airport whether this can go ahead or not. We're lucky in the sense that we've got an awful lot of experience in flying drones, first and foremost, but also flying drones in particular areas that are quite sensitive, so sort of central London and in and around airports before. So that really helps in terms of our application, but also just being very open and having a good dialogue, I think, is one of the most important things when you're trying to get a permit in place for working somewhere like here. Now, the team at Gatwick have been incredible with us. There's been a really good line of communication throughout the whole thing, first with us and then also our client as well. So it just makes the whole process a lot easier to deal with. You know, there's a lot that you have to consider, but I think as long as you're fully aware of what you're trying to achieve, be realistic as well with the expectations of what will be allowed. You know, you're probably not going to be able to fly at maximum height here. There's going to be a height restriction, so be sensible with that. All of those things will aid and help you to essentially submit a successful permit. Now, I don't know if there's been many drone operations that have been this close to the runway whilst it's been operational. We are quite literally only a few hundred foot away from the main runway. But yeah, you have to make sure that the right processes are followed and that everything is in place so that the flight can be legal and also that you can get the best results without having to worry about anything. So you might be saying, why are you getting so excited about filming a giant warehouse? Which pretty much is what it is. And without an aircraft in here, it's actually pretty empty. But it's not. And the reason why I get excited about things like this is the things that I don't know and I get to experience for the first time. This behind me is just a massive piece of engineering, and they're the things that really excite me because I didn't have a clue what this was. It's actually a double-decker maintenance platform, which there's not many of them apparently, but when you actually get up there, you actually really get a sense of scale of how tall these aircraft are. And you just imagine something actually filling up this space. And we get the chance to bring that to life. We're finished. It's been a really long day. We've captured some really nice footage. We've made sure that we capture the right shots, the shots that are really going to help with this listing and bring this whole property and building to life. And I'm really, really excited actually to see how the results of this come out. Obviously at Gatwick, everywhere you look, there's a new shot to capture. So it's really important that you don't overshoot on these types of projects. So that's all for this video. I hope that you've enjoyed it. Please subscribe to our channel so that we can create more content like this. See you in the next one.